Hello and welcome once again to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, aka DJ Yemmy. And here with me today is a Let's Player who has been a big help in the small YouTuber community, and he's planning on expanding his channel. He always dresses to impress. It's IonPrime. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, hello there, Yemmy. It's good to be here. And thank you for having me here as well.
Oh, not a problem, man. All of IonPrime's social medias like Twitter and YouTube will be down in the description below. Check them out if you want to. Ion, how you doing today?
Oh, doing relatively well, actually. Just finished doing some new graphics and everything for my channel, trying to spruce it up a bit more to really push my brand out there, really, just to give that warm feeling. I'll put it that way.
Well, that's good. That's good. So let's talk about IonPrime, the name, because I figured that name probably would have been taken on YouTube a long time ago. How did you snag this name?
Surprisingly, even I was surprised it wasn't taken. I mean, this name, I kind of had it for years, but not as a YouTuber. I just kind of used it on and off on, like, online for video gaming or just general other stuff. So I'm kind of surprised myself that it wasn't taken. So yeah.
Well, that's good though. I'm glad you could keep your title, keep your brand going on YouTube. A lot of small YouTubers, they're juggling work, family, creating videos. I'm sure you are too. Do you have any advice to people who are struggling with managing their time?
Well, yeah. Really, you just need to, any other time that you've got is to use it doing your dream job, where the other time is just for, like, you just your ordinary day job. So really, it's hard, I know, because I mean, from my personal experience, I work 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. So on top of doing this, so I have to manage my time sparingly. I pretty much put a video out like a day in advance, or record it a day in advance, and then edit it at that time. So yeah, it's not too easy, but really all I can say is to keep your head down and just do it. Believe me, it'll help you. It'll basically make you feel better within yourself. So yeah.
Kind of keep you sane, right?
It does, actually.
Yeah, I know. With the podcast here, I mean, I got 4 interviews this weekend. So it's like, I think I'm going to take a few days off from it next week. Because it does kind of build up, and I think a break here and there is probably good for the soul.
Yeah, I do admit that, and I will say, yeah, have that break. Considering everything that just mounts up on you in life and everything like that, and just have fun with it. All I can say.
Yeah, fun is one of the number one things for being on YouTube. If you're not having fun with it, you're not really going to go anywhere with it.
Oh, of course. That's the reason why I do my channel. I do it for the fun of it, because I want to reach out to all the people across the world and share my knowledge, share my reactions, and everything in between.
So you've said that you want to enter the world of cosplay, correct?
Oh, I've actually already entered it. I've about 2 or 3 years into it now.
Well, I'm a little behind then.
Yeah. I'm not really a pro per se, but I do enjoy it. I mean, I know quite a few people who are pros, especially around the northeast of the UK, like Covey Kicks, if anyone's heard of her. I don't know. She does have a YouTube channel, but it's mainly just about how she creates stuff and everything like that. I wanted to do that, but push it a little bit more. Basically trying to push out some of these artists that make this stuff, just so people like yourself or anyone else, if they're making a skit or even just doing cosplay just for fun, they can like go back to my channel and see a future review that I'm going to do on these people that I'm going to that make the stuff. I mean, basically.
Well, that's cool. That's real cool of you. What have you cosplayed as in the past?
I have cosplayed as Tatsuya from, if I can remember the anime, it's a very hard title. Some of them are hard. What's it called? The Irregular at Magic High, I believe. It's basically, it's not very well known as an anime. It's kind of short. It's not dubbed or anything, so it's in just Japan, the subtitles type of thing. So I did that cosplay. This year I'm doing a fairy tale cosplay, which is Gildarts from that series, Fairy Tale, if anyone's ever heard of that. So they'll probably be like, oh, yeah, Gildarts, if they hear that.
Yeah, I'm not too big into anime myself, but I can appreciate a good cosplay coming from anyone.
Well, yeah, I mean, anime is not the only one I'm going to be doing. I mean, I hope to do some superhero things, the standard things like Superman or Batman and stuff like that. So that'll be on the list as well. You
could be the Nicolas Cage version of Superman. Just put on a wig and shave up.
Oh, I hope not. Then again, if I was doing Nicolas Cage, I'd have to do some Nicolas Cage jokes just to ease the tension, I think.
Of course, yeah. So are there a lot of conventions that come around to the UK?
There are quite a few, actually. Even I was surprised. Like a few years back when I first discovered it, my first one was in Sunderland. It was just called Sunderland Comic Con. Sadly, that is not around anymore, since it's just SunnyCon in Newcastle now. But that's generally just the northeast, but there is others like in the south, in London. I believe there's a very big one in London. It's almost as big as some of the US ones, like San Diego, but not quite as recognized, or rather not as published as the San Diego one. But yeah, they're all fun. I mean, if anyone hasn't been to one before, I do recommend going to any one of them. The people are great. Even if you're just brand new to it, you're like standing there like, oh my god, where am I going? But someone will like walk past you and say, hey, do you need help or anything like that? So generally everyone is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know when I was at PAX West in Seattle, Washington, there weren't too many rude people there. It was everyone just kind of having fun and doing what they do, playing video games and seeing what's coming out.
Yeah. I mean, I've been, well, even the cons that I've gone to, they do generally show a lot of video games, up-and-coming ones. It won't be as big as PAX, but usually they'll showcase something that's already been like shown in PAX and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's generally a good atmosphere, and it's fun. When the last time I was there, I played on Injustice 2, and I was just kicking one of my friends' backsides at this game. So he had a bit of a rage on right in the middle of everyone.
God, I love that. So, speaking of things that are in the UK, I was recently watching a documentary about a man who eats roadkill who lives in the good old UK. What would the IonPrime documentary consist of?
Oh, for one thing, don't ever eat roadkill. It's not nutritious, guys. Come on. That is really, really not good for you. For me, if it was going to be fitness-wise, make sure you drink a lot of water, and make sure that you eat your vegetables.
Well, that's a good philosophy to live by, that's for sure.
Of course.
So you mentioned before that you really like superheroes, and I know we were talking about Marvel versus DC during my stream of Gravel back a few weeks ago, and you seem pretty unimpressed with the Marvel movies of late. What is bringing them down in your opinion?
in my opinion, and I'm not hating on the Marvel movies. I mean, I do have favorites, but for me, right now, I feel like they've kind of gone into a parody type of way. Like they're kind of insulting my intelligence of being like a superhero fan. Like they'll throw in some stupid jokes in there, and I'm like, that's not really funny. Like I can take some laughs in a superhero movie, but when it comes to the point where I feel like it's insulting me, that's the reason why I really don't like it. I mean, I hate to say it probably because I know somewhere someone will probably shout and say he is wrong, but I didn't like Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok. I did not like it at all. It felt so insulting, and I love Thor as a character. I mean, I've read loads of his comic books. I love the character, but that was just god awful.
I will admit there were way too many jokes in that one. A lot of jokes in that one. It kind of burned you out by the end of it. Obviously, it burned you out a lot sooner than I was burned out, but
well, even the start of it. I mean, what was it with Surtur, I believe, where he was like turning around while he was like tied up or something, and I was like, that's not kind of funny, really. I mean, it's silly, but it's not funny. That was just me anyway.
Well, I think part of it is because the actor who plays Thor in these movies, he's doing a lot more comedy gigs now. Like he was in the Ghostbusters remake, which I don't really like to talk about, but he's doing more of those comedy roles, and I think Marvel saw that he was getting a good reception from people and decided to write his character as more of a goofy, goofy Thor maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I like the actor, Chris Hemsworth. I love him. I love his stuff. But with some of the comedy gigs, as you just said, with Ghostbusters. But I mean, I saw that movie, and even I was like, no, just take it away.
They killed off Bill Murray. What are they thinking?
I know. I mean, come on. He was always in it for the laughs, and now he's gone.
So should we even talk about live-action DC movies, or should we just move on to the animated ones?
We can talk about anything that you want. I mean, I'm here. You've got me, for however long you want me for.
Well, let's just skip the animated movie because I haven't seen any DC live-action movie since Batman v Superman, to be honest with you. So I'm a little done with that for right now. But the animated movies, I know that both of us are pretty impressed with how they've been going. Which DC animated movie has been your favorite so far in the line of animated movies?
Really, that's actually a good question, considering how many I've actually owned anyway. But I have to admit, probably the new like series that they've got going on. I mean, I believe it started with Flashpoint, which is a really, really good one. I do love that one.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of morphed into Justice League War, and we had Batman and Son, I believe, and then Batman versus Robin. I thought it fell a little bit with Teen Titans Judas Contract. If you have seen that one, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I saw that one, because wasn't that the one with was that the one with Raven and Trigon was kind of the main villain in that one, or am I thinking of something different?
No, that one was with that was Justice League versus Teen Titans.
Oh yes.
But then they had a sequel to it. So this sequel was basically Deathstroke came back. So there was that whole Damian Wayne Robin thing against Slade Wilson, Deathstroke. But I felt it kind of went a little bit flat on that one. But some of the new ones I am looking forward to. I mean, not long ago I watched what was it? What was the newest one again? It was Suicide Squad. Yeah, Hell to Pay. Yeah, I did like it, but in my opinion, they kind of kill too many characters off in it.
Yeah, that was my same opinion for Batman Bad Blood, whatever it was called. I feel like they killed way too many of those fourth and fifth tier villains off, and I was like, no, I love those guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Suicide Squad kind of does the same thing. I mean, it kills off another Batman villain. He's probably a bit less well known. I mean, he hasn't even been around for that many years. I think he might have been published in 2009, which is Professor Pig, I believe.
No, not Professor Pig. It's another
Yeah.
character I really like. Fuck. Damn it.
I know.
I'm still gonna
can't
watch
believe
it, but that's so sad. God damn.
I know. I think they just like to kill things off in this new series that they're doing, but it's still pretty good. I still like the animation and everything like that. I'm looking forward to the newest one as well, which is Death of Superman. It'll be.
Yeah.
I heard that it's a two-parter, so the first part comes out this year, and next year will be the second part.
That's gonna
But
be cool.
I was kind of confused when I watched the trailer. I was like, but wait a minute, this Superman, wasn't he with Wonder Woman in this series? Because we like saw a couple of like videos back that he was, and now he's with Lois, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
Well, it might be like a Dark Knight situation where they kind of just did or the Killing Joke one where they just kind of, pulled it out of left field and they're doing like a solo story for it. Who knows? We'll see, I guess, when it starts up.
Yeah, don't talk about the Killing Joke.
No, nope. I regretted my actions as soon as I brought it up.
I mean, the last parts of it were good, but the rest of the movie was just absolute crap. I mean, come on, why? You could tell the difference in the writing style.
Definitely.
Just no, you can't mix two different writing styles into one movie.
Well, let's move on from the Killing Joke because I don't think anyone wants to hear anything about that.
I know. I hope not, anyway.
Let's move on to a game I like to play with everyone from the UK, which is called Define That Slang Game. This is a game where I have 3 American slang terms and 3 United Kingdom slang terms, and you gotta define them for me. And we'll pitch you against the other few people who are from the UK that have been on the podcast, and we'll see how you stack up. Sound like fun?
Oh, no. But I'll give it a try.
I'll start off with the American slang first, so I got 3 of them here. Number 1, put up your dukes.
Oh, that's an easy one. Put up your fist. Come on, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, you're gonna get ready to fight. I always like to start out a little easy, so I just ease you in. Number 2, pigging out.
Pigging out? Is that something to eat a lot of food or something like that?
Well, that's it.
Well, there we go.
Very good. Number 3, spill the beans.
Spill the beans, as in you're gonna tell me everything that you know.
Wow, you're doing good. You're doing good. Now we're gonna move on to the UK slang terms here, and this is actually where the other people missed them. So we'll see how you do.
I probably know more about the American ones than I do the UK ones, even though I'm from the UK.
So number 1, doofer.
Oh my, doofer. I have no clue. I don't know. You're a doofus or something. I don't know.
It's just something you say for a thing that you don't know the name of, like, oh, that doofer over there.
Oh.
At least that's what I read online. Hopefully it's right.
Not a lot use it in the north, I don't think.
Number 2 is faff.
Oh, that one. Yeah, as in mess around, as in you're faffing around. I know that one.
Wasting time was the official definition that I got. But good enough. I'll give
It's
you a
pretty.
point.
Give me half a point.
Number 3. This was chosen as one of the hardest ones to define for American people. Spend a penny.
Spend a penny. Oh my, I think that's a southern one. Oh my. No, even I don't know that one.
It means to go to the bathroom.
What?
As it says on the site I'm on, women used to have to spend a penny to get into the door to go to the bathroom. So when they would get up, they would say, I'm going to go spend a penny. and then they would go to the bathroom, and they would have to put a coin in the slot to use the restroom.
Wow, I think that must have been an older term, especially down the south, because I remember that they did have to pay to go to the bathroom.
The funny thing is that the website says that people in the south still use that. So next time you're around the south, just be like, hey, I'm going to go spend a penny when you're at the pub or something. See how many looks you get.
Yeah, I'll probably get lots of weird looks. Just saying that out loud.
Well, you tied with player 2. You didn't quite beat Vex Exists.
Oh. But then again, Vex she's just too awesome anyway. I am not worthy.
So this is going to be the last question for today, and I chose it because this is probably the hardest one I could think of. So you're a Let's Player, and a lot of people getting into the world of Let's Playing will over-exaggerate or they'll undersell their emotions. How do you keep a nice, steady equilibrium of the two?
Well, for myself, I basically play it as I would normally. I mean, yeah, I've got the camera there, but I try to ignore it as much as I can. So really, I'm not trying to act as much. I'm really actually doing it 100%. So it's all 100% live, and it's actually me either getting angry or getting scared and everything like that. I mean, I am not in any way trying to overplay or underplay my emotions. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially when it comes to a scare. I mean, when there's a jump scare, you'll probably have seen some of my videos yourself and probably got a good chuckle out of them. Especially something like Super Meat Boy. Oh God, that game.
Yeah. You've only lost one headset to the game so far, so not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, if you hadn't noticed my more recent videos, I got a new headset. So if you go back to my older ones and then see my new ones, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's a different headset. That one's got black and green on it. The other one was just black.
Last thing I wanted to actually ask about. This is actually the final question. Pranked. You got a custom Xbox recently, which was pretty dang sweet, if I have to say so for myself. What are your plans to use it for on your YouTube channel?
Well, it's going to be for joystick retro Let's Plays, so it'll be for any of the older games that from PS1, because it does emulate older games as well. Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
That's part of the reason why it's so freaking awesome. You got an emulator in there, and it's free and it's sweet. If anyone hasn't seen it, you definitely should go on your Twitter and see the picture. Or I mean, by the time this is up, you'll probably have videos for it. Or just go to the channel and see it in the flesh.
Yeah. I mean, I'll even have the link in the description to the guy who actually made it. The guy does it as a business, and he just basically he was a cool guy. I was looking for something a little different, but a bit cooler as well. And he just came up with the art of it, with it being Final Fantasy VII. And then he was like, you know what? I'll put your logo on it because I really like your channel. And I was like, oh, that's very nice of you. I didn't expect that one. But yeah, it also has the original Xbox games in it besides it being an emulator. So it's got horror games like Fatal Frame. It's got some of the cartoon games like Taz Wanted.
Yes.
And even some horrible games like I don't want to even mention it. Superman, Man of Steel. That game is horrible.
Maybe we'll just have to do a little one-off video on that just to really show people how bad that was.
Oh, I still remember playing it when I first got it as a kid. I mean, I actually did have the physical copy, and I wasn't too bad at it. I kind of liked it, but then when you go down to street level and everything, the controls are just thrown out the window. You'll just walk into a wall at super speed for no reason. You're like, what's happening?
All right, well, I think that's all the time we have for today. I just want to thank IonPrime once again for coming onto the podcast with me. Real interesting guy to talk to. Make sure you check out the links in the description below. Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. He's a very fun Let's Player to watch, and he's a very helpful dude who supports the YouTube community, so definitely check him out. He supports a lot of people while even juggling his own channel. So it's pretty cool what he does. Ion, is there anything else you want to add before we end the podcast?
Well, yeah. Basically, to all of the peeps out there, all the community, is to just chase your dreams and just keep at it. Believe me, it'll work for you. Just keep going, and something will come out of it. Believe me.
Very positive words coming from you, Ion. All right. Well,
I try to be.
I am your host, as always, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of the Ferret Business Podcast.